Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Pastor Brett here. Just a quick Q&A. This is for Colin. He asked a question, and I just saw it. It's been a couple of days. I apologize, Colin. I'm just seeing some of these emails now. All right. So he says he was reading Matthew chapter 5 today, and when reading verses 21 and 22, he got a little confused. He said, Jesus says that whoever says, "Thou fool," will be in danger of hellfire. However, in Matthew 23, Jesus called the Pharisees fools, and Paul called the Galatians foolish. I'm praying about it. Just was curious what your stance is. God bless, Colin. All right, well, Colin, it's really pretty simple. In Matthew 5, Jesus used the writer used the Greek moire. Matthew used the Greek moire. That's where we get our English moron. And so Jesus knew the heart of everyone. He knows our heart. He knows if we are a fool or if we are, sincerely surrendered to Him. So for me, there's not a problem. There's no confusion here. When Jesus called the Pharisees fools, you got to remember that He's God. All right, so He can pretty much call you whatever He wants, and He can do it because He's God. How can we question that? We can't. I mean, we just can't question that. Now we can reason within our own minds, and but when we come to that realization, when we come to that point where we accept the fact that He is God and that He's sovereign, that He's in absolute control of all things, we don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. In Matthew 23, of course, He was exposing their, half-hearted motives and mentality. He said, all the things in one text, He said, all the things that the Pharisees bid you to do, that observe and do. But do not after their works. Why? Because He said they say and do not do. So they were in the gall of hypocrisy, and Jesus just simply called them out. So that is, Jesus simply saying, you do not have the right to condemn anyone. We don't have the right to condemn anyone. I say it often. I said it in a recent video. Jesus is He's God. I mean, he has the ability to understand your heart and knows your thoughts before you even think them. So, not to mention doing, which is the act is more important than the thought. I'm reminded of John 3:17. Now, most people, you can quote John 3:16 off the top of your hat, and most people can. All right? Can you tell me what John 3:17 says? If I had you on the phone right now, would I have caught you, with your hands in the cookie jar? Can you quote John 3:17 without looking? Most people are scurrying to their Bibles now, and John 3:17 is just simple. Jesus didn't come to condemn, but to save. That's not a literal word for word King James translation, but that's what it says. That's exactly what Jesus is telling us in John 3, in verse 17. He says, God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through Him might be saved. Let me look at it in the King James. I'm reading it to you literally from the Greek New Testament here, but thank you, dear. John 3. John 3:17 says, "For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." Okay, so the message of salvation, of course, is what Jesus was conveying, and yeah, he's not here to condemn, he's here to save. We don't have the right to condemn because we don't know the heart of anyone, So how dare we say, you fool? Now, in the case of Paul's usage, talking in Galatians, I'd have to familiarize myself with the specific text at hand, but I can say from memory that Paul's calling them foolish by saying something you are doing is foolish, or by using the term foolishness. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that. You can and are justifiable in saying that a person who robs elderly people of their monthly earnings on a regular basis, what is he doing? What he's doing is absolutely foolish. I can say that that's foolishness, because it's a foolish act. It's a foolish deed. Whatever the deed is, that if you're doing it thinking that you can get away with it, well, that's foolish. You get away with nothing. So again, that's my way of using that term without being condemning. I can most certainly say that some things somebody is doing and I can characterize it as a foolish act, and I don't believe that contradicts what Jesus says. So, I guess that's about it, Colin. I hope that helps. And saw another one in here. I'll get to that and get it back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. In Jesus' name.